All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to run a mock draft here. We've got Jess Root, managing editor of Cards Wire, and we're going to do an Arizona Cardinals mock draft, just the first 3 rounds. But I've got this keyed up here. We're using the PFF mock draft simulator. Our friends at PFF, thank you. And let's get this started here with the 3rd pick. Let's see who goes 1 and 2. We've got Jalen Carter and Bryce Young, 1 and 2. So you're on the clock here, Jess. Who is it that you like? Is it slam dunk?
This is the slam dunk. Will Anderson. The Cardinals need a pass rusher. He's an elite edge rusher. Not only does he have he is a little undersized, but if in the Cardinals scheme, you could put him as what Hassan Reddick did in Philly, only with a truer edge rushing size to that. He's got the production, he's got the athleticism, he's got the motor, he's got the smarts. As long as the medicals check out, I think that's an easy pick. Take Will Anderson, and then you worry about the 2nd round.
All right, I like that. We'll go ahead and do that. That's a no-brainer pick.
Yeah. The best scenario for them is if Stroud does get to 3, the Colts call, they drop back 1 pick, get whatever they can from the Colts, and then draft Anderson.
Yep. Yes.
That's a good call, Dan. I like that. We're thinking now. All right, moving on to the 2nd round, pick 34. Thoughts here, Jess? Is this maybe a potential trade back situation?
I think so. If you look at Monty Ossenfort, general manager for the Cardinals, his history with the New England Patriots and how they've done things with the draft, they've never, the Patriots never had a top 5 pick. And so trading back out of that, but their philosophy has always been move back and get more picks. And especially if you view the talent level and you have a bunch of players that you like, I could totally see them moving back a few picks. Even still, plus knowing more about this player than other ones, I would kind of target TCU Steve Avila. I don't know enough about the cornerbacks kind of in that role, but I know that Avila is an often mocked 2nd round pick to the Cardinals. It fills a need and will appeal. Like Kyler Murray's been begging for offensive line help, young offensive line help, and they haven't really done it. So getting a guy like Steve Avila coming from a program that was highly successful this last season, I think and they honestly, they don't have a starting guard right now, because both Justin Pugh and Will Hernandez are set to hit free agency.
All right, so it sounds like possibly a trade down scenario, but in this particular case, you like the pick of guard and Steve Avila out of TCU.
You might still be able to get where he is on the draft board. You might be able to trade back 3, 4, 5 picks and still get him.
Right. All right, well, in this mock, we'll go ahead and select him. All right.
To the 3rd.
That brings us to the 3rd round. And the Cardinals, I think, have 2 third-round picks, right? One's a compensatory pick.
Correct, yes.
All right, so we're at pick 66. And we got edge here. Of course, lots of good edge players here. Edge rushers, excuse me. Anyone stand out to you? Or Dan, how about you? What do you think?
Kind of looking at the players that are...
You got Zach Charbonnet.
I like Zach Charbonnet.
That's interesting.
That one is an interesting pick because the running back position, you've got James Conner, and then a bunch you don't like. They drafted Keontae Ingram a year ago. And we have no idea what this front office and this coaching staff thinks of him. They were pretty high on him last year as a 6th round pick coming out of USC. But again, this is a new coaching staff. You look at the TCU corner or the running back there. Let's they're trying to build that defense.
I like the corner from
defensive coach
Garrett Williams, the corner
defensive backs coach formerly.
That's true, but likely they're also gonna probably, I would bet they bring in I could see them bringing him as James Bradbury. They like Marco Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Charbonnet. Why not? Why the heck not?
All
it's
right.
A mock draft. It's a mock draft. Why not? Because they'll probably will have addressed cornerback in free agency.
There you go. And then pick 96, their compensatory pick. This is, pretty much. Oh, look, he's still there.
Hey, perfect.
Travius Hodges Tomlinson. Is that our pick?
There. That I can live with that pick there.
There we go.
Interesting. Devin A-Chain is also there if you would have gone with corner earlier. But anyway, yeah, we'll do that. All right. Hodges Tomlinson
Off
to
the
the
board.
Cardinals. And here's our draft, and of course the grades that they gave us. Look at that. Let's get rid of that. Not bad. A+, B-, B, and an A.
It's a great start to the draft for them.
I like that.
Yep.
All right.
I wouldn't mind that though. Though of course they're grading that based on that you picked them where they had.
Yeah, right.
The algorithm according that they have. We reached for Avila and Charbonnet, and his ranking and Hodges Tomlinson's ranking was way higher, but he fell, and so makes sense.
But yeah, and it probably goes along with the positions of need as well as where they were selected in the draft.
Yeah, so if you're a Cardinals fan, are you happy with these four? If this is how it turns out,
like not knowing much about Hodges Tomlinson, I like I love the first two picks, and then after that I'd have to find out a little bit more. But I think that's not a bad way to start the draft.
Well, maybe they can be roommates in rookie camp since they went to school together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, everyone, let us know what you think of this mock draft here in the comments. Was there someone else that you thought might have been better? Yeah, let us know. All right. Well, thanks so much here, Jess. We appreciate you coming on and joining us for this and to educate us on the Cardinals, where they stand right now and what they might do in the NFL draft. You mentioned your podcast that you do. Do you want to give yourself a little bit of a plug?
Sure. It's the Rise Up See Red podcast. I call it the best hour of Cardinals talk on the web. You can find it. It's honestly just like most podcasts. You can find it anywhere you can do podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, whatever it is. But Rise Up See Red, it's a Cardinals podcast. So if you like the Cardinals, that's good. If you don't like the Cardinals, you can get your feet wet with some information. We also talk the NFL draft coming up. My co-host is a big draft Nick. He also has his own podcast called the Original Draft Breakdown Podcast. So we're heavy on the Cardinals, and at this time of year we get heavy on the draft.
All right. Well, excellent. Well, thank you again for coming on the show, and we look forward to seeing what Arizona does. Will they be able to trade down? I mean, you got it takes two to tango. You got to have that other team, and the pick's got to be right. Or do you take that pick and make it Will Anderson or maybe Jalen Carter, whoever it might be that's available? So, all right. Thanks so much, Jess. And everyone, see us our next show when we talk with Mookie Alexander of the Seahawks. Take care.